But he didn't make any notes about those two.
Oh, that was good, man.
Could we get
Nice
some
kick.
feedback, though? Perhaps eventually?
I was holding the punching bag, you know?
Yeah. I'm really sad they didn't animate yesterday when Reynad punched through the styrofoam. They only had the still of it. It was really good. Like we took like 4 takes of it. Oh, they showed it on the pinata thing. I was casting with RDU. So we have, looks like this Tempo Mage.
Tempo Mage from Theude,
versus Druid. And
how do you think Tempo Mage counters? Do you think it counters Druid?
Yeah. It's
I haven't played much of it, for sure.
It's a hard counter.
Hard counter?
How much harder than Mech Mage?
Well, it's
does the same job, maybe?
essentially about the same.
All right. I want to see it in action, actually.
Is there any true difference in the way Tempo Mage approaches than Mech Mage? I think it's just
Mech Mage
the
is
board.
aggro-ish. More aggro-ish, I mean, because you got more twos, and you actually got ones. Whereas here you rely on Zombie Chows and Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, okay. It's not the Tempo Mage as, like, you know, a
It's still
cookie cutter. There's an anti-kill bot. I don't see that
like,
at all.
It's one tech card, I suppose, but it's still the Tempo Mage concept.
Maybe he doesn't want to play Kazan Mystic, and he still wants to be good against aggro.
This might be a
example,
Fatigue Mage or something like
no
that.
way. Fatigue Mage with Kirin Tour?
Why not? Why not?
I mean, you're right. It could be.
Maybe not Fatigue Mage,
How
but
about Control
Echo
Mage?
Medivh
Echo
Mage, something like this.
Yeah, okay, that's plausible.
Like Value Mage is what they called it. All right, well, the Pilot Shredder Innervate, pretty annoying, but you know that's what Druid needs to do, take advantage of the early game tempo.
What do you think about this Unstable Portal, though? What if magic happens and we get new cards?
Oh, dude, what if it pulls into the future and gets Nefarian?
Or something.
Yeah, and it pulls, Nefarian pulls like the combo straight out from Druid. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't pull Nefarian, but you can pull Majordomo right now, which is not legal for top 32 or
Actually,
16.
that's so funny. What happens if it pulls from Wing 2, which is not legal at the moment?
I heard about some events last week in UK, I think, that they had that situation where Wing 1 was not allowed, and somebody in Stable Portal Thorson. And
that's crazy, dude.
They had to play it. Like, you're not going to disallow that, right? You're not going to card from
I guess
him.
the
you just spent 2 mana.
The truth is it's not in your deck list.
Exactly.
So, yeah. You can definitely get tokens, quote-unquote, of cards. That's what you can, I guess.
Oh, he went only for 1 point of damage. Interesting.
Well, his hand is pretty poor.
Yeah, I really wanted to cycle that one.
What's he going to do on next turn, Lothar?
He's going to wrap do here.
What do you think about that?
He's going to innervate into something that gets Mirror Entity. Unfortunately.
Oh, right. There's that.
All right. I want to see Mojo Dormu, or I would like to see Imp Gang Boss. That card is sick.
Imp Gang Boss. Yeah,
especially with the Mage Hero
cool.
power,
Yeah,
you can control the board.
That's not very relevant versus Druid.
What
especially when you got
free
initiative on board.
It's a free for free, so you do it.
Okay, yeah. It's still decent value. 2 mana, 3/3.
Yeah. You have to use a Wrath on that.
On the Chugga, though.
I guess it's not really relevant unless your opponent plays Dr. Boom on the board. And even then, it might be just Dr. Boom.
Yeah, it's really situational to hold on to it.
So, and you'd rather get the early game board presence. This deck relies a lot in this matchup the same way as it, just like you said, it pincers the Druid the same way Mech Mage does, because Mirror Entity locks them from being able to play strong minions without taking too much damage.
It's the best tempo card in the Mage versus Druid for sure.
Absolutely.
Shadow Maxon. So you give him the Shade and you play the Wrath. So it's a perfect combination of cards you can use on turn 5. And you use the Emperor on turn 6 most likely, but this is still a problem because the Shade will grow to a size when he will be just trading for at least 1 creature from the Druid side, and the value of the Mirror Entity is much higher than the creature itself.
Yeah, that shit might just straight into the Mind Control deck, and that's pretty shady, I guess.
Yeah. I like it.
It's also worth noting that last time when we were here at Seed Story Cup, both me and Theude were practicing together. And
that's right. You were teamless at the time.
Yeah, no teamless. I was in Planet Key Dynamics.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't there for long.
Oh, that's right. You had that white jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And
that white jersey.
I don't know why I remember what you wore, but don't ask me. Oh man.
And we are both practicing together. I'll save you this one.
Right,
and we both played a Tempo Mage back then.
That's right. It was.
I remember
it was a lot. It was a lot different than this one.
Yeah,
there was not as much GVG cards,
and there was no Unstable Portal, which changes a lot in this deck.
It's a very good card.
Yeah, but in general, we were playing basically this deck, but without the new cards.
How important? I mean,
Nourish there.
I feel like Nourish is cool, but he already has so much draw with Ancient of Lore anyways.
Do you agree with the Shade being enveiled by the mage?
I think so. You have to do it because if
Wouldn't the Shade trade into one of those 3/3s anyway, and you could keep your 4/4 Shade next turn? He would still be tempted to trade anyway into a 3/3.
Yeah, you know,
I'd say
that's
so.
a really good point actually,
Yeah.
because
Those
now
two
that
damage didn't
Shade,
really matter.
the Shade won't be able to contest as easily for whatever your opponent drops next. If this
Yeah.
Ancient of Lore comes down,
Yeah.
then you can't just ping it and then gain whatever you play next. So that's a pretty valid concern. I guess the damage is somewhat negligible too, right? Because you'd rather just care about the board.
Yeah, that's also true. It's a very good turn from the mage yet again. You get the Waddle Mantle out. He has a pretty nice board versus Druid. And he's got a Coin Ragnaros on turn 7.
Coin Ragnaros.
If he hits
is
the lore,
quite a
he's
pickle to
golden. There's no BGH either on the
deal with
Druid
it.
side.
yeah.
Well, Kieran Tormage is a little awkward. So I'd rather, the Coin Ragnaros is fine.
Red, yellow.
RDU will have two draws that can salvage the situation. One, of course, is the Big Game Hunter. Second one is the Force of Nature,
Yeah,
which you can
for the
use with the
combo.
combo on turn 8. Other one will be Second Swipe, so 3 draws that can kill the Ragnaros instantly.
Second
Does-
swipe, though, it doesn't deal with the rest of the board.
I mean, that's assuming that he doesn't lose his Ancient of Lore, and the board is really difficult to deal with.
Well, that
Although I think you're
puts him
okay
on
with
9.
either outcome, right?
Wow.
That's
So
pretty
RDU
rough.
always says his rag goes to the face. It's just like whatever happens. Oh, sorry, Toy. Oh, that was
that's
no,
Theude's
Yeah, it
Theude's
was
rag.
Theude's
Sorry,
rag.
I have this names mixed up. Well, this is going to be really difficult if he can't remove rag immediately, and if
Well,
he does,
he has.
Might shred or swipe, right?
right.
Yeah.
He'd rather leave rag than this water elemental, huh? Because it's just
Yeah,
so much low
definitely.
HP. Such low HP.
The
it's really
indirect
difficult.
damage.
Because you're swiping anyway, the most valuable trade is into the 3/6.
But then Ancient of Lore's frozen for a turn. Man, that feels terrible.
It most likely will be killed by the rag.
That's what you're hoping for, at least. Oh,
So he changed
you,
his
you can
mind.
swipe and then
and
keep
keeper,
her.
yeah. But Waddle Metal survives.
You're also on Fireball to lose.
You're not
Yeah.
banking on face tanking anymore, that's for sure. But the fact that you're frozen is kind of annoying.
3/5 creature. That's you have no answer to that creature.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't mention was how much damage this Mind Control tech ended up doing and being able to absorb. It was-
Pretty good beatdown card, right?
Right, and that was just off the Unstable Portal.
And the
so-
Mana Worm is also a great draw. It's really a great draw because it just
Yeah.
puts pressure. 1 mana to 3 seems like a good deal.
What do you mean, like just Flame Strike right away?
Yeah, I would do it.
Feels costly, but the thing is, even if you Mana Worm and you freeze the face,
Or
the
just
keeper's not
drop
going to
the
be able to
current
clear the
or-
Mana Worm.
I think I'd rather play the Kieran
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
current turn
yeah.
is better.
Because if he has Sludge Belcher, then you can get through easier, I suppose.
I don't disagree with the Flame Strike. I just think that Mana Worm won't be killed by the hero power anyway. So you're doing a good job at preserving your board.
Well, that's a little bit ironic.
Yeah.
The Mind Control comes in, considering the mage played it and his 3 minions on the board.
It's pretty interesting, though, that he chose to
Right.
run Mind Control tech. And Nourish.
Man. Okay, so Theude from here has 4 damage, so Fireball is still lethal.
Yeah, that's
There
lethal.
you go.
Oh, there it is. So that wraps up the first game pretty quick. Just get it out of the way. Druid versus the Temple Mage is going to be really tough anyway.
Good call by Theude here to open up
Yeah.
with the mage.
Definitely.
Because Theude's Hunter was banned. He has Shaman and what was this, the third
Oh, I lost
class?
the screen.
Yeah, didn't see it.
Yeah. Didn't get an opportunity to look. Meanwhile, RDU still has his mage, his Druid plus Hunter and mage, I believe.
Well,
You should
we'll
leave
see in a
because
second.
Otherwise, it's going to bug
Oh,
the Spectre
okay.
mode.
All right. So we gotta leave it and then.
And rejoin, yeah. Once they go into it.
All right. Well, I think that matchup was just really tough in general to overcome.
The mirror entities just win the game. against
Definitely.
Druid.
Unless you run like double Zombie Chow,
Well-
well, Druid, and got other baits for the mirror entity, it's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Match
Alright.
is ready, I think.
No need to rush, man. No need to rush. I know I know Nimsh versus Wealthy Druid took a long time, or Zany Druid, right?
Johnny Druid?
Johnny
Johnny
Druid.
Johnny?
Druid. Johnny Druid.
Johnny?
Artosis was saying Johnny. I was like,
Johnny.
okay.
Oh,
You're
man.
Polish, how do you pronounce it?
Johnny.
Johnny.
Druid.
Okay.
Johnny Druid.
So
Anyways,
this-
that one took
See
forever.
Shaman from Theude. It's pretty unconventional decisions, like bringing Shaman and Tempo Mage.
He's in general. Theude's like a guy who likes to go against the grain
Yeah.
a lot.
He's very interesting to watch for sure. We
Yeah.
see Mech Mage from RDU, just like every single Nihilum player, right?
That's true.
Oh, I think so.
People,
Yeah.
You
people
think so?
don't.
You think you brought Mech Mage?
No. I was thinking if Life Coach is playing
Oh.
Mech Mage.
Makes sense.
And
he has been
he-
playing it.
I
a lot.
believe Life Coach is playing Mech Mage. He
Yeah,
had this
he
insane
should.
series. He had this absolute absurd series against Maverick. I think it's the best series
I heard
of
he
the
roped
tournament.
himself to death.
He did. So what happens in that series, as it looks like Zombie Chow will be play turn 1,
Yeah.
it was like every game, games 1 through 4, had multiple turns where it was like both players were off by 1 or 2 damage of lethal, and it was really close. And they were playing around each other's cards perfectly because they were making reads that were like spot on, and like it was so good. And then Life Coach made like one minor mistake, ended up potentially costing the game. Who knows? But in the end, the big mistake that he made was that he had the opportunity to
Sun
play
Fury,
Sun Fury
I
on
heard,
Molten
yeah.
Giants, and he just ran out of time.
Yeah.
So Sun Fury never came out.
That's
He
one of
just
the
died.
roughest things.
Yeah, so like
Not being able
just
to
to
sign up.
play such an intense back and forth series and then to rope and lose like that
Yeah.
is soul crushing. Life Coach had to
Ooh,
go
we got
take
the
a walk.
1-1, so you can trade now. This
That was interesting.
was very good.
Why Radu would play the Snow Tracker just instead of pinging the
Not
Zombie
pinging.
Chow? I'm thinking about it.
Because
He
he,
wants both to trade rather than just one.
I guess he doesn't want his opponent.
Shouldn't he want that? So he can pop a 4. So
Will
he
you
can pop a
play
Shredder
around?
without Flame Tongue being an
Yeah, you
option.
play around the Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can
And
think
then you got
of.
a Blast Mage to follow up as well. I think,
Now you
No,
play
Yeti doesn't play
Yeti. Now you play Yeti for
but
sure.
it doesn't play around Buckbiter.
But it
There's-
plays around Flame Tongue Totem. And Pelter Shredder doesn't play around.
No, you
Fla-
like Flame Tongue here because the 2-drop survives at least. Whereas Yeti just dying all out and you have nothing on board is kind of worse.
What about? Well, Yeti Pelter Shredder is weak to Airshock.
Earthshock also.
Yeah,
gets
definitely.
it.
And,
so which
and yeah,
we do see
Theude
the
has,
Shaman
has it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also disrupts his turn too. He'd like to play the Shredder as well.
It's really good to Earthshock these targets though. There's so much value.
The thing is, he doesn't have to Earthshock now, does he?
Why not?
I guess he does because of Goblin Blast.
So you want
Mage.
just
It's one of
to
those things
drop
where,
the
like, maybe if
Annoytron?
your opponent makes the trade instead, then you can Earthshock after.
So you want to drop an Annoytron and Totem.
No,
Or
I'd rather
Shredder.
drop Pilot Shredder just because
Yeah, I
you
get
don't
that,
want to
but
miss it.
You know, there's Blast Mage. That's a big threat
That is the big concern.
because he can
though.
trade into the Harvest and get the 2-1
Yeah.
kills.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Then the Shredder does contest the Blast Mage though. So I don't know. That's a pretty hard call to make
Yeah, it does contest
because
the
if you don't want to
Blast
Earthshock here, you also have the same logic of wanting to use a 5-drop on 5, and you got the Belcher. So you got to do it eventually. So is this the right turn? Maybe you annoy Tron to protect your 2-1. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mage. I mean, it still can get reached anyways. You're not really protecting it. You're just
Oh right,
You're trying to
it's
bait
not
your
even
opponent.
Druid or something. Never mind.
Right.
Sorry.
But conveniently, because of it, he's gonna have to let it live because of the mana.
Yeah, Flame Tongue
Tongue now
would
would
be
be
pretty good,
insane.
but Hex is also a very good answer right now. We see that there's a Doctor Boom, and there's no second Hex or a big board for the Shaman. It's gonna be pretty hard to deal with it later.
I think Theude might go for Harrison Jones here. Or maybe for Belcher.
Do you not want to
seems
kill
okay.
it though? If you played around Blast Mage last turn, I think you should keep on playing around it because your board is even weaker.
I
to
don't
Blast
think he
Mage
was
now.
playing around it. I think he was just playing for the value. Because Airshock...
The value could come later though. The thing is,
If he would play the Pelted Shredder, then the Pelted Shredder would just trade for the Pelted Shredder and he will have no value from the Airshock anyway.
yeah, but the thing is, the Shredder never trades for the Shredder in the Mech Mage versus Shaman. You trade for the Arvis and then you Blast Mage, so you kill the 2-1.
Well, Artie has a couple of weak turns here just because he doesn't have any mech with the Goblin Blast Mage, and Dr. Boom's still a couple of turns out.
Well, the Mirror Entity is
It's
a
kind
good
of
card.
like Locke's Theude as well, though. He doesn't
Yeah.
want a Shredder because that's a mech and enables Blast Mage. Although, if he wants to play a minion, Harrison's definitely the best option, but he has no way to clear it.
Just his own Harrison.
He can, though, like, Shredder Storm next turn, and if he gets spell damage this turn, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and if he Shredder Storms, he'll have 6 mana. Yeah, so he should be
Yeah,
fine.
33% to get spell damage here for
Right.
next turn.
Seems like a okay decision to just skip
It's
turn.
scary to not build the board though in anticipation
Yeah.
for like the pilot Sky Golem or something, and then it just
If you play the
crushes his
Harrison,
soul.
You can also Harrison. It's going to lose 1 HP to Annoyatron,
Yeah,
and maybe you
you got the 50-50.
Storm work somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
It feels like losing 4 points of mana with such a tempo style of deck. You can afford that. To
Yeah,
do.
he's feeding the major board so he can clear it after. What do you think? I don't know if it's better to force the mage to ping so you can get through the Annoytron, or if you could trade the bubble right now so you force the Harrison to take 2 damage. What do you think about that?
I think you should attack face, but now is a...
You don't care about the 1 damage, that's for sure. But going face forces him to ping if he wants to clear it.
Yeah, that's okay.
But there's so many 4-drops though. It fits the curve for Mech Mage
But he already
perfectly.
used 1 Piloted Shredder and 1 Yeti.
And 1 Yeti. Yeah, you're very true. That's very true.
So,
I still like Naked Blast Mage here though.
with
be
an
honest.
Annoytron, you mean?
I'm not sure, like Naked Blast Mage and ping? Or
Annoytron-
no, Annoytron Blast Mage, you're going to ping the Annoytron.
Allows
Yeah.
it, gives him a
Of
pretty high
course.
chance, right?
What about just dropping Cockmaster or Annoytron with Frostbolt pinging... Frostbolt pinging the Harrison
If you
drones?
Frostball ping, you don't Cogmaster.
I mean the Annoytron or
Yeah, yeah,
Cockmaster.
But then the Annoytron still lives because they don't bubble it off. It's fine like this because after trading you can still Frostball next turn, but there's a boom as well. You don't want to Frostball. So you see
Theude has
Hex
a
coming
second
down.
Hex.
Yeah. But at
If
the
he-
same time, second Hex leaves him really
We know it's better to
defenseless.
keep it for sure.
Yeah, so can he make that read
Yeah.
that he should hold on to it, even though it might be better for him to perhaps set it up so that way it's stronger board for him? It's tough because everything else gets contested by the 5 damage. It kills the Belchers pretty easily, and the Pilot Shredder is not going to have a high impact if it comes on a board like that. I guess it does trade up against everything health-wise. But then your opponent drops Dr. Boom and goes face, and you're just sad.
Yeah, that's 10 damage on board as well. 11. I don't know, the Storm definitely is not the play here.
I don't think you can allow
The Storm is
yourself
so
to get 10
risky,
points
too.
of damage.
Yeah, 10
You
points
can
is
belch
way-
your hero power, and you're literally preparing them for the AoE. Think about that.
The problem is you lose tempo of that play.
How do you lose tempo?
Because your Piloted Shredder loses 1 turn. Like, Belcher is active the same turn he's being played.
Yeah, but if you want to protect yourself, only Belcher does that. Shredder doesn't.
Well, you should have played the
Hex.
Totem first. No, Totem first to see the outcome.
Oh yeah, of course.
You got the Taunt Totem, then you played Piloted Shredder, I think.
You still take 6.
Yeah, but
7,
that you
It's
you
5
make
less, of
yourself
course, but-
yeah, but you play the Belcher next turn, and you can pair it that with Hex.
I feel like the 1-2 is also relevant, though, if he's going to Lightning Storm next turn. Because
You see
then...
that mage can reversing switch Frostbolt on a Belcher,
Mm-hmm.
but
True.
no. Okay, so here's the Harrison.
takes
Drops
up
the
the
Spider
guarantee.
Tank, I suppose.
Will he use the Harrison? Will he play around the Lightning Storm? Because
I don't think so.
that's rough.
You gotta think that Shaman can ping. He's probably not thinking about the Storm. The fact that Shaman can ping is so strong sometimes, and he's being greedy about that.
No, I think he just saw the mistake of not attacking Harrison first into the Belcher. Well,
Yeah, that's true.
he can go now Harrison into the totem.
It's still the
and
same thing. Like, you know, like Fire Elemental could pick it off pretty easily.
You don't care about a Fire Elemental turn though, if you get to keep the rest of your board.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why he wouldn't want to trade in
Yeah,
the
okay, yeah,
Harrison.
yeah.
If he traded in Harrison, then the Goblin Blast would be
He
at
would
5,
only have 1/5.
5-3,
Yeah,
and
makes
he would have
sense.
gotten sniped.
Wouldn't just Theude play the Harrison before?
And Fire Elemental actually feels stronger because the 6/5 hits the board.
Sorry, what were you saying, Lothar?
No, never mind.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if Theude wouldn't play the Fire Elemental on 2 turns before that. So
Well, I'm saying, I guess that's true. It's a
If
good
he had
point.
it,
yeah,
yeah, probably.
yeah. So you
Oh, wait,
know he
Mirror
didn't
Entity,
have
right?
it.
Yeah.
Was it Mirror Entity turn?
No.
Some other turn.
Oh, okay.
Harrison was at turn 5.
What do you think here? Do you Shredder Storm and leave the Spider Tank up? And it has to hit this Taunt Totem.
Wow.
But the thing is, your Shredder is
50-50.
forced to trade it to Spider Tank.
Oh, he
Now
hits the
Now he's doing
50.
another 50-50.
2 50s.
The 50.
And he doesn't get it.
He misses.
Annoytron stops it though.
Guess he's not the best shaman in the world.
You gotta use an Annoytron to ping as a Shaman. Feels so bad.
Snow Chugger. Well,
It's
now
great with
you
Power
have.
Mace.
True.
Yeah, he's going for Boom, obviously. Not
Man.
going for the ping.
This will meet the Hex.
Yeah.
Well, that's
There's no
still
second storm, though.
problematic.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Neptulon.
You got Shredder Heck,
himself.
that's pretty good.
How do you deal with that as a mage? You have to ignore it, right?
The 7, there's fireballs.
Yeah.
Just like you deal with Boom usually, I guess.
Problem is, Neptulon just helps you outcard your opponent so
Yeah.
well. Like, this is the exact scenario you'd want Neptulon.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not exact. Ideally, your opponent wouldn't have Dr. Boom on the board. But
Yeah.
if you could pick a scenario in terms of, like, the card advantage.
Imagine you had 10 mana this turn, though.
Right. Oh, you're right. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Even though Neptulon does cost 10 mana total.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That'd
you
be
know,
good for the EX.
Theude's doing a good job holding off RDU's aggression.
He does.
Still
That was a
29.
fireball.
And
See.
the mage only has 2 life cards left. The other one's a spare part. And he's forced to trade eventually. Like, he's losing cards very fast.
He didn't opt to kill the spell power totem. That's interesting.
Well, spell
No,
power
it doesn't
totem,
matter.
I guess.
There's only one minion with 3
Right.
HP, which is already a coin flip. And one storm is out.
Wow.
You can't really play around the second AoE when there's only 2 of them.
That's a perfect turn.
Pharaoh's
Yeah.
Spirit is really good. Although what's so funny is like the Cogmaster living with 1 HP is also annoying because it trades easily into one of the wolves.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then of course Boombots might
So,
do Boombot things.
I think you might not even feral this turn.
What if Boombots single-handedly take out Neptulon?
That's why I wanted him to take out the totem, because you limit the amounts of targets for the bombs.
Ah.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
And we get a Grimscale Oracle, 2 Murk-Eyes.
I think you played a Tidehunter. Yeah.
What?
And the Oracle.
2, and you get
That's
plus
nuts.
1. Look at
Yeah,
this,
you got 3 tokens on board here.
Wow.
and you have
Man.
This is so good to fight off the other tokens.
I gotta say that
Each
the
Murk-Eye has 4
tokens-
attack.
The tokens have been so annoying in this game.
They're
on
not going to
both
survive
sides.
though. You're going to get pinged off, I guess. At least a 2-1.
Quite amusing. Well, I mean, look, that 4/3 is attacking the frog anyway. Just get it out of the way. There's no way you leave that frog up for any reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Here goes the frog. He's going to feral? Really?
If he doesn't feral, then his opponent might be able to pick up really good trades with against Neptulon.
You don't really care if you got 4 Murlocs behind you, though.
Oh, that's
You got charging
worst
Murlocs to
top
trade
deck
with.
ever.
He still has Fireball right now, but I guess he's just going to evaluate after he attacks.
He can clear the wolf.
Okay.
See?
Alright, so now he pings it and then attacks with the Boombot.
Don't you want to ping the Neptulon to kill
Oh
it?
yeah, you're right.
Wow, that's awful.
So you Fireball Neptulon then.
That feels so wrong.
Yep.
I wanted him to attack first the Snow Tracker into the one of the wolves and then ping.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty rough for RDU here. He's only got his board left.
Still can draw into his Antonitis. That's
Oh.
his
If
last
he
attack.
gets stealth and draws Antonitis, he can win the game, but otherwise there's no win condition, I believe.
Now you can trade for
He has
the
no other
whole
power
board
cards.
and still have more luck.
He's
More
got
luck
so
up.
many. He got so much life too.
There's no way
Which one do you
RDU can
freeze?
do.
Shredder or Murk-Eye?
Shredder. You want the Murk-Eyes to attack next turn because you will play 3 more
Yeah,
more
that makes
Murlocs.
sense. He's gonna get buffed.
And each Murloc has plus 1 attack.
Also, what's somewhat nice is the healing totem.
Yeah, it's very
That's
nice.
really
Yeah,
clutch. Denies
definitely.
your opponent an easy ping to potentially
Denies
ruin
every
it.
single ping.
Not the ping to the face. If only.
Not that one, but you can take 24 of those, right?
Yeah, so I guess Theude's on a 24-turn clock.
Sounds reasonable, I guess. It's pretty fair. There was a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! that said was called Final Countdown.
Yeah.
When
it's
he
like
played
you
it-
put lose in 30 turns or something.
20 turns.
20 turns.
And it counted 1 turn for you, then 1 turn for your opponent. After 20 turns, if it didn't kill you, you won the game. Just outright.
Did you play a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, from 10 to 15. I was like top 3 in my country. Not that it was much, but
Top 3 in Portugal?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Portugal.
guessed any other country because that's it's not like you're from 2 countries. Okay.
But
Or
yeah,
are
I
you?
played quite a few there back
Gotcha.
then. I love the atmosphere, like going out to your local shop and playing cards.
Oh yeah,
I loved it.
it's
That's
really
why,
fun.
like,
Plus, you actually can do the whole heart of the cards thing.
yeah, before I got into Hearthstone, I had this recurring thought: I want to play card games again. It felt so good. It was so much fun hanging out with people. And Hearthstone got launched and was a perfect opportunity. And gladly, it's an esport right now, and that's just huge.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You got chickens here, man.
You guys are missing this, but there are chickens.
This is better than the
wandering
game,
around
man.
I'm gonna take a picture.
in the apartment.
Sneaky Lothar.
They're really trying to spice up the atmosphere of the tournament. Wow, that's awesome, man.
They went away, man. No picture. Anyway, let's get back to the game. I guess.
Yeah, this Merc guy wants to come down.
So 3-4, yeah.
I think he can set up a 2-turn lethal here with Flame Tongue as well. Because if you go for the Merc guys, they'll have 6 damage next turn. Or I guess maybe you'll pick one of the Merc guys. But then you have the Flame Tongue with Alec here.
Just pop everything. No, you fill up your bar, though. I don't think you totem.
Every single of your
Just play the
Molochs
Flame
gives you
Tongue,
plus
get the
+2
damage.
attack. So this
Did you
is
play the
basically...
Flame Tongue?
Yeah, so that way you get the damage in now plus the Alec here.
You can Alec your Flame Tongue next turn.
Why wouldn't you want the damage now, though? So that way, because you need to put him at like low 20s, and then...
You don't need to, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right. Because now you have lethal.
Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of damage. 16, 21 plus Alec.
Yep.
31 damage.
If only he had Wild Pyromancer, he could clear the board.
Oh, sweet, bro.
Well, that wraps up game 2, and Theude's up 2-0. You know, RDU's looking a little stressed, man. Everything was perfect for him. He was feeling good. He hit #1 on Legend. He's still #1 Legend in EU.
Yeah.
And he was getting some good positive feedback on his casting. He ate a nice dinner that's had chili and corn.
I have to take a picture.
Yeah, they
of
made
that.
a huge
Yep,
bowl of chili, right?
they did.
We got two
Him and
chickens.
Raydan made out in the closet.
Oh,
Chicken,
really?
two
Did you take a
chickens.
picture?
Yeah, I got one.
No, I didn't, but out of respect.
Rena, what?
Better if you didn't hear that. And look at that, man. He got his lips all puckered up only to get slapped by Theude. And here is the series score 2-0 in favor of the German player. Now, a lot of people don't really think about Theude and top German players. They think about Sixo, they think about Ecop, Faramir is really on the up and coming.
Yeah.
Is there any other Germans that I'm missing that are obvious?
Life coach.
Life coach, of course, life coach. And those are the players that they consider as top ones, but they don't think about Theude that much. But
He's
you know,
really
actually,
under the radar, though.
RDU versus Theude is a rematch from the grand finals of the HyperX Invitational, and that was a really close match because I remember that Theude was the only player along with RDU to actually bring Handlock to the tournament, and that was like the big metagame call because no one was playing Handlock at the time. Everyone thought Handlock was really weak.
In what meta?
Huh?
In what meta?
In the meta where Hunters... I think Hunters and Shamans were really powerful because Shaman was trying to beat the Hunter, and then like Handlock was considered weak.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, game number 3 is about to begin. I think Druid versus Priest is going to be really interesting, Lothar, because we were talking. Who's favored in this matchup?
Yeah, I was talking that Druid is always favored.
Unless Druid's always favored.
Unless you're playing Ignite stack. Not Ignite stack, but the one I played. My Priest is actually very heavily teched for the Druid matchup.
See, I don't think Priest is that bad against Druid. I think it's
depends on the list, definitely.
Right.
Because Priest can go so many ways. The thing about Priest, and it has always been like this about Priest, you can counter literally anything. If you make your list tailored for it, you can counter literally anything. And it's going to be really effective. But
you can't counter everything.
Exactly.
So sometimes you're really weak to certain things.
When you set a purpose for your Priest, it's going to work out. But if you deviate from that, it's going to be really hard.
It's funny because I feel like it's almost like a even more polarizing version of Warrior, because Warrior's in the same way too. Warrior is like one of the classes where you could tech to try to beat almost anything, except maybe
not
Druid.
as much, I would say.
Druid? You can
No,
if you go
Warrior.
more mid range.
Warrior.
Yeah, I mean you can beat Druid
But
if
versus
you go.
Druid is always going to be hard as Warrior.
Right, but I'm saying that's the one exception. Just like Priest has like tough matchups against Handlock almost no matter what you do.
Yeah, versus Warlock's
Right.
a really
So
big one.
I feel like it's even more polarized sometimes. But by the way, this is a pretty good start for the Druid. Innervate and Wild Growth, and denying the Priest from drawing cards is huge.
Well, the Cabal Shadow Priest will be perfect for those 2 keepers. You got 2 Cabal Shadow Priests and 2 keepers.
It's almost as good as it gets, really.
Yeah.
Because
What's he doing with the keeper? Silencing?
Yeah, well, he has.
Well,
both.
obviously the only option is to silence, but why does he want to do that so quickly?
He has
Because
combo
he has to
in
go-
hand, right? Is
He
that
has
what he wants?
to go aggressively with the board control. If you lose board control against Priest,
But
you
he
lose the
uses
game.
Innervate, though. So if he draws any 7, he can't play it.
If
Diff,
I guess.
of course.
Theude now can clear. He can go with...
I agree with it if you pop a Belcher, because Colt is always going to be protected.
Right.
But otherwise, I don't know. I think it might be premature, maybe. I guess he also will add the second one, and he curves out on 6 as well.
What's better, though? Like, if you're afraid that your opponent picks up the Dark Cultist buff, you would silence whatever gets buffed anyways. So, like,
Yeah,
if you
but-
played Belcher, then...
Being, instead of being reactive, you're like anticipating it, so that's actually
Gotcha.
better.
But you give up your Innervate to do that. That's
But
that's
you
the
would
only
give up
thing.
3 mana anyway for the rest of your turn.
Yeah, I guess
I don't
fair
disagree
enough.
with it, but
Yeah,
It's not
no,
really-
it's a fair...
it's a hard call. I like this trade.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow!
There's the Arcanine Circle, though.
I can
I don't
ask
think
you-
it's that relevant.
Huh?
What do you want to get against a priest?
A 4-attack minion.
Yes.
Actually, a 6-attack minion wouldn't be bad either, because then they can't Shrink Meister, but he's already used one of them.
You're thinking ahead, man.
As the game develops, 6
Yeah.
mana, 6 attack's really good.
The thing is, there's the Arcanine Circle combo to deal with whatever grows on
Dude,
the,
this
onto
is-
that board, but it forces him to circle earlier than he was expecting to.
It's a little bit too perfect. Oh, man. RDU
There's
is
no
getting
swipe?
a very, very good lead. Now, of course, his opponent can coin Cabal Shadow Priest,
Yeah.
and that's something RDU hasn't really truly considered much.
I think he was thinking about it, but what can you do?
You can't
I
do
think,
much
I
about
think you
that.
still wouldn't. You still would rather cycle.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now you have the Twilight Drake incoming with the Circle of Healing if you want to do it. But you're missing a way to deal with a massive board from Druid, so maybe you will go
You can
with
Arcanine Ping.
Yeah, Ping. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. And then you can Cabal next turn because the Keeper's not going to trade. And the Lore comes down or a Boom, as you expect from a turn 7 Druid. So that's actually very good, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Just if you do go for the Arcanite
Yeah.
play, and
Next
you
turn, you're
Cabal,
going to have a 3/5, a 4/5, and a
you,
2/4.
you do end up
Versus
losing,
a 5/5.
You do end up losing the Arcanite, though.
How so?
That's not
What
the
do you mean?
problem.
To the Lore?
Wait, you're saying playing Cabal afterwards or using Circle next turn?
No, you Arcanine right now and ping the Mana Storm. That's
Right.
all. And
And
next
then-
turn, you Cabal it.
But yeah,
Keeper.
then you lose the Arcanite,
He goes for the Cabal.
unfortunately, because the Ancient of Lore will be able to trade it to him.
I'm not sure if I like it.
Yeah, that's true. But then you have the Keeper to finish off the Lore. That's what I'm saying. So you still keep your
I'm
Cabal.
saying,
like,
I'm saying it's really good for the Druid if he loses the Arcanite without being able to
circle?
utilize, yeah. To circle
Look at
really
this.
still very
The
good.
Druid
minion, though,
has
3/5.
in 3 turns he can go Fawn, double Savage Roar.
Yeah, he's got
the
22
double
in
combo
hand.
ready.
So what he wants to do is just go phase with everything now.
Yep. He's got the Shade as
Right.
well.
I wouldn't mind if he would use the Mana Storm just to deal 4 points of damage in this situation, you know?
yeah, I
there was
guess
still the
you're
Arcanine
right.
on board, though.
But,
Yeah, but the Alkanau is not a problem.
No, there wasn't. Never mind. Sorry.
I think you wouldn't want to lose the Ancient of Lore.
What do you think about this turn, though? Do you ping it?
Yeah, I think if you had to choose between having a Cabal Shadow Priest or having an Arcanine Soul Priest with a little bit less attack on board that's full health, you choose the Arcanine, which is why
Obviously, yeah.
which is why I really liked that he played Cabal first, because if he lost the Arcanine to the Ancient of Lore,
He would only lose it next turn, though. This turn, we would still be able to
really
ping.
awkward because he couldn't kill it easily. That's the problem. He would have to play Belcher, and then the Ancient of Lore goes like a 4-for-1. 'Cause
Yeah,
he gets
okay,
2 cards
okay.
and
The thought
trades.
steal is really weird. What do you want to get? 2 refs were
He's
already
gonna Blade
used.
Master, I suppose.
Oh, Wild
Isn't
Yeah.
Shade better?
He can't.
Oh,
He just wants to attack
Why?
the face.
Now you can't clear with Alkanai. It's weird.
he's expecting the Cabal to die to Lore so he can ping it off.
I don't think that Radu will go with that. Oh, especially with a swipe.
So his logic is a 4/7 on board is better than a 3/5 on board remaining
think so.
at the end of the turn, because he's most likely going to try to kill off this Ancient of Lore.
So, Radu, if Radu will go face,
Yeah.
then we'll see the Belcher from Theude next turn. That's like a given. He has to, because Radu will telegraph a combo going.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't want to use the combo right now, he wants to use it in 2 turns. So, you know, the Belcher will come down anyway. Other options are to drop the Shade of Naxxramas and use the swipe, but then you're lacking 1 point of mana to use your hero power to clear the Cabal Shadow Priest. And you're getting to 19, which is not a big problem.
Is it super imperative to hold on to this double combo in general? Because if he can play Savage Roar,
You can deal 7 points of damage now. I mean, you can leave him at 7 points of life now.
yeah, I guess right. I think just this is okay, middle of the road play, or maybe even innervating out Shade. I'm not sure if the second Savage.
I'm not sure
it's still
if
2 turns
using
away.
Innervate is good, but I would have liked to see the Shade on board at least.
Because Shade counts for more damage as well, like over 2 turns.
Yeah.
It's going to be an extra 5
Yeah,
to 6 damage, so that's still the extra damage you get from Savage Roar number 2.
I think he thinks he probably has time, another turn to pop up the Shade, because the
Fair
double
enough.
combo is turn 10 anyway.
I don't think it's a problem. He will
'Cause
drop the Shade next turn,
Yeah.
so...
If he dropped the Shade now, then he would have been able to combo next turn to potentially kill.
But it's still 19 with Shade on board at 3.
No,
Well,
I'm saying
he
he,
was
could have
20.
played Innervate Shade and then
And combo is 19 if the lore
assuming the
doesn't
Lord,
survive.
right?
How do you deal with the lore?
You got the Arcanine.
Well,
You don't really
Priest
want to,
has
but
only one
I guess Holy
option.
You
Nova.
can give up the
Okay,
Belcher
no.
maybe?
Oh, Holy Nova would have wrecked him actually.
Oh,
because
yeah. Yeah, you're right.
He would have
Yeah,
attacked
yeah,
into
yeah,
the. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes a lot
definitely.
of sense. Well, there's no Shadow or Death, which is still the easy way out. Unfortunately for Theude. And that Wild Growth's just sitting dead for a while.
So he goes for the board control, which I really like because that
That's
threatens
game,
the
isn't it?
threatens the board. No, that's 21.
Yeah, 21.
No, he
No,
has
22
Innervate.
with
22 Innervate.
Innervate.
Yeah, if
Wow.
lethal.
That's death. Like I was accounting like you would innervate Shade so that you have the lethal with combo, but if he healed himself, then he'd be out. Does RDU not see this? He should.
He's just... Oh my... RDU! No! What the hell?
He was so insistent that he won't miss lethal. He was like, no, man. He's like, I would not miss lethal. He was
Oh,
tilted
man.
so hard
Oh,
by watching
man.
other players miss it. Oh, no.
still has
all
it,
right,
I
all
think,
right. Now, here's the point. Now the rest of the game is whether or not RDU noticed he missed lethal. And if RDU notices, the best thing he can do is to pretend like he didn't see it. 'cause
Yeah.
Don't give the viewers a satisfaction. I'm staring intently.
Do you circle
Oh.
here? You just drew the circle. You clear the Shade and pop a Belcher maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to because
You
there's...
can just ping and Belcher as well, but...
Well, what's funny is like now it's like, well, he doesn't have combo, right? Or I guess maybe, maybe he doesn't put him on combo Innervate, but maybe he has
Yeah,
combo.
he
Puts him
was
on combo, but
he
not
was so
combo Innervate.
fixated on the idea of
On
double
second double
comboing.
combo,
yeah.
yeah.
right.
Happens sometimes though. Like you feel so powerful with that combo, you just want to lead up
But
to
now
it.
now you don't have lethal, right?
Let's see.
I don't think you do.
Let's see. If he picked up Innervate number 2, would he have had it?
He loses 10 to clear the Belcher. How much
Why
does he have
10?
left?
He loses 7.
Loses 10 because he needs to trade a 6-2 tree and
No.
his
You,
face.
And his
you
hero
use
power.
you use the next shade to trade for
No,
the
you trade
Belcher.
a tree, it's going to be 6. Shade is going to be 7.
Oh yeah, right. Okay,
So you
never
keep
mind.
1. And then you attack with the face into the ooze, so that's 10 damage.
It's 19 damage.
10 damage you lose.
Yeah.
So you're left with 19?
Yeah.
So he's too short.
So
Well,
you
what's
have
nice is opponent's not going to be healing because he is Alkanai on the board.
Yeah.
But he's also might be dead. Oh man, if RDU misses lethal and he loses this game 0-3, he is going to be crushed. If he's thinking about using combo to clear, it's like that.
it's like losing position.
yeah.
Wow, man. This took a real big turn.
So, I guess we
That-
can
that-
amend our matchup statement to say Priest is really good against druids that miss lethal.
oh, man.
I think it's just doubly like edge sword because
So
it's Lothar is teammates with RDU.
you have to be a good druid player if you want to win against Priest. Let's say that.
Wow, shots fired. Ping, ping, ping,
Is that
ping.
lethal? No, 15. He needs...
Oh man,
That's
second
not
Belcher.
lethal
He needs
yet.
3 damage.
But
He
the
doesn't
second
have it.
Belcher guarantees that Theude will live next turn.
Yeah.
Even with 3 creatures on board.
That circle also looks very tasty, to be honest.
Yeah, now you use it.
I think this is very good. Yeah, definitely. Just clear the board for free and drop a Belcher.
Make it so difficult for your opponent to come back.
Yeah, the Priest won the game here. Dude, feel so bad for him, man.
I wanted to ask him if he
Yeah.
won the game. I mean, live coach, but I think he won because he is walking to the computer, right?
Yeah.
I would guess so.
He's just rushing back, I guess.
Looking
Anyway,
out for your Nylon bros.
got a sad story here.
One's
man.
doing all right and one's struggling.
I will have to slap him
cross
on
the
the
finish
ass.
line.
for that.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Oh, man. You know what? You just have to feel bad. Everything went so right for RDU. Again, he hit #1 ranked legend earlier today, and he held it. And, you know, he's also was like watching all games, making the right calls, doing some good stuff, even getting positive comments. And now he's probably going to get locked out of this game. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's
he can do.
no way you can get out of this.
Not even Deathwing can save him.
Oh, come on.
Actually, Deathwing good. That's it. RDU missed lethal. Drops the series 0-3.
Oh man.
Well, I'm curious if he even knows that he missed it.